So our first three-digit equation is 833 divided by 7. So 833 is our dividend and 7 is our divisor. As soon as I see that 7, I know that I'm going to need to use my 7 times tables today to help me with this equation. So we know 833 is made up of 800s, 3 10s and 3 1s. So our first step is starting with our largest place value, which is our hundreds column. So can we share 8 amongst 7? Thinking, how many times does 7 go into our 800s? Now 7 can only go into it once. So I put our 1 at the top, and then our next step is to multiply. So 7 multiplied by 1 is 7. So we do 8, take away 7, we're subtracting, which is 1. So that means from our 8, we have 1 remainder left over. Next step is to bring down our tens digit. This is showing now that with our 1 remainder left over before, we have 13 tens. Can we share 13 tens among 7? So ask yourself, 7 times what is 13 or as close as 13? So I know 7 times 1 is obviously 7. If I do 2 times 7, so 2 groups of 7, it's 14, so it's too large. So 7 can only go into 13 tens once. So I'm going to write my 1 at the top in my answer in line with the digit I was working with. Next step is to multiply. 7 multiplied by 1 is 7. I'm now going to subtract and do my line across to write my answer underneath. 13 subtract 7 is 6. So record your 6. This is saying we've got 6 remainder. Next step, remember for our bad in our acronym is bring down. We bring down our ones digit, which is the 3. We now have 63 ones. So can we share 63 amongst 7? Using our times table knowledge, we want to think 7 times what is going to give us 63. We know because we're doing equations with no remainders that there has to be a number that when multiplied gives us exactly 63. And I can see that 63 is really close to 70. So 7 times 10 gives me 70. But if I take 1 7 away, it gives me 63. So I know that 7 multiplied by 9 is 63. So I'm going to write my 9 at the top. And we're going to test it out. 7 multiplied by 9, yes, that's 63. Record that down. Our next step is to subtract. So 63 take away 63 equals 0. And that shows us we have no remainders left over. So that tells us that 7 can be divided equally into 833, which is 119. So 833 divided by 7 equals 119. We'll do one more before you give them a shot yourself. So really the key is to remember that acronym, dirty monkeys smell bad, and follow those steps of divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down, and repeat them until you have no digits left. Okay, our last one that we'll do together. 840 divided by 5. So, can we share 8 amongst 5? Think, how many times does 5 go into 8? We know 5 goes into 8, remembering that this is 800s as well. 5 goes into 800s once. So we record our 1 at the top in the answer. Next step is to multiply the divisor by our answer. 5 multiplied by 1 is 5. Then we subtract to see how many remainders we have left over. 8 subtract 5 gives us 3. Remember what to do next? Yes, we need to bring our next digit down. So we're going to bring our tens digit down. which is our 4. So this is saying now we've got 34 tens. Can we share 34 tens amongst 5? So think about how many times does 5 go into 34? And you guys should be able to get this quite easily because I know how awesome you guys are with your 5 times tables. So remembering that's asking 5 times what is going to give us 34 or as close as 34 because there might be some remainders. We can't go over it though. So I know that 5 times 6 gives us 30. And if I was to add one more 5 to it, it would give us 35. So I can only go to 6. So 34 divided by 5 is 6. Next step is to multiply. So we multiplied the divisor by our answer. 5 multiplied by 6 is 30. And we subtract that 30 from the 34. So 34 subtract 30 gives us 4. Now what we do is bring down our last digit. So that's our ones digit. And by bringing down that 0, it now gives us 41s that we're working with. So can we share 41s out amongst 5? So to make it easy for us, we think 5 times what is going to give us 40? Yes, 5 times 8. So 40 divided by 5 is 8. So we write that at the top. Then we multiply. 5 multiplied by 8 is 40. And we can use our skip counting, remember, to help us check that. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Yes, that's right. We subtract 40, take away 40 equals 0. And this shows us that we have no remainders left over for this equation. So 5 can be divided evenly into 840. So our quotient is 840 divided by 5 is 168. And if we were to multiply these two numbers together, 168 by 5, that would give us our dividend. So that's how we link multiplication and division together, and that's where all our fact family knowledge comes into place and is really, really important. Good luck everyone with your equations. I'm sure you'll smash them out today.